Hi, I'm Nithin Krishnamurthy, and the director of Kannada movie called Hostel, Hudugaru, Bekagiddare. The movie released on July 21st. It successfully completed 50 days. It's now on Z5 OTT platform. If you haven't watched the movie, I would suggest you to go watch the movie on Z5.
ಲವ್ ನಾವಾಗಲೇ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಾಗಿದೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟವನೆ
ಮರಿಯ ಕ್ಯಾ ಮಾದರ್
ಏನೋ ಮಾಡೋದು ಇವಾಗ
ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಸೋಣ
ಅದ್ರ ಬದಲು ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ
ಸೂಪರ್ ಐಡಿಯಾ
ಅದೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು
4th ಫ್ಲೋರಿಂದ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ಗೆ ಬಾಡಿ ತೊಗೊಂಬರೋಣ.
ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಪ್ಲಾನ್. ನಮ್ಮ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಜನರ ಕೈಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ವೋ?
ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ನು ಕರ್ದ್ಬೋಣ ಎತ್ತಲೇ
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲೂ ಸುಳ್ಳೆ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀನೇ ಕಾರಣ ಮಾಡ
ಸಾಕ್ ನಿಲ್ಸಲೇ. ಯಾವ ಹಾಸ್ಟೆಲ್ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತಾ ಈ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ? ನಮ್ಮ ಹಾಸ್ಟೆಲ್ ಹೆಂಗಿದೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ಯಾ?
ಜೋಡಿ ಚಪ್ಪಲಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಬಾಟ್ಲು ಮಜ್ಜಿಗೆ. ನಾನೇ ಗಣೇಶ ನೀನೇ ಮುಂದೆ. ಯಾವನಾರು ಆ ಗಂಜಣ್ಣ ನನ್ನ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಕರೀತಾರೇನೋ.
ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರೋ?
ಟಿವಿ ನೋಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ನಶೆಲ್ ಏನೇನೋ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ.
So I did my engineering, and then I thought I should move into visual communication. So I assisted in a movie called Lucia. I'm sure you've heard of it. And after assisting Pawan sir in Lucia, I joined a TV channel, Z Kannada. So I was the promo director there, on-air promotion head. I used to parallelly also shoot a few ads. So I did TV for around 6 to 7 years, and later there was always this hunger for me to do movies. So while I was in Z itself, always wanted to quit and start with the movie, with my own movie. So that is when lockdown happened, and I thought this is the right time to do a movie of this genre for whatever I've shot. So that is how it all began. Yeah, so I had realized that when a movie like Lucia, it was very path-breaking back then. Even now, a lot of people consider that as a textbook for aspirant filmmakers, because it broke a lot of barriers, not just in the way it was shot, how it was crowd-funded. I was very lucky to be a part of that film. And Lucia has always been an inspiration for a lot of filmmakers, of course for me as well, because I worked very closely with that project. And while we were doing Hostel Hudugaru basically is a blend of lot of genres. It doesn't stick on to a single genre. So we had this confidence that Kannada audience, if given an experimental content in a way and it's promoted well, I'm sure they will watch it. So yeah, you can say that Lucia has been a part of how we wanted a movie to be made. Like it gave us a confidence that if the content is good, people will definitely watch it. So, to speak about the technical aspects of the film, the structure of the film, the screenplay itself is very different. And speaking of technical aspects, the way we've handled camera in this movie, we've used since it blends a lot of genres, we had to use multiple cameras, and we had to do a different way, because 90% of the film is handheld, and the 10% of the film is very cinematic. So since the cinematic portion of the film is a fantasy portion, and it's in a director's thought inside the movie, so we wanted to use a lot of filmmaking styles inside that small short film. I used to watch a lot of ads, international ads, and I think we had not shortlisted, as in we together as a team, we all had watched around like 500 to 600 ads, and a lot of which has very slick camera movements and transitions. So that helped us a lot. And the mockumentary style of shooting a film, it's of course been like the lot of films, the meta films, which have structure like that, but in India I don't think so. many people have explored this because it's a very risky genre when people watch it. But we made sure that it should be pleasant to the eyes as well when somebody watches, and that's how it all came into place. And technically, sound also mattered a lot for us because we had dubbed with around like 400 people. A usual film dub is almost around 30 to 40 people max. But since we had a lot of crowd, we wanted it to be authentic. We did that, and our dubbing process itself took us around 75 days. And the sound processing, sound mixing, and final aspects of sound, it also took a long time because we wanted people to have that surround experience in the theater. So the humor that was in the movie was very. We had a lot of pop culture references, and it's not everybody's cup of tea. It's what we thought. So this is where there's a saying that audience is always more updated than what films that we always think what if it doesn't reach the right set of audience? What if the audience won't appreciate this kind of humor? But what happened? We started off with a lot of promos where we were trolling ourselves. So that promos worked very well. And that is when we got a hint that yes, people are ready to accept this kind of humor.
ನೀವು ಕೂಡ ಈ ಸಿನಿಮಾವನ್ನು ಜುಲೈ 21ಕ್ಕೆ ನೋಡಿ. ನ್ಯೂಟನು ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ? 2 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ನೀವು ಪ್ರೋಮೋ ಮಾಡಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದವರಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಹೋಗಿದೆ.
ನ್ಯೂಟನ್, ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಿನಿಮಾದ ಕತೆ ಏನು?
ಐನ್ಸ್ಟೈನ್. ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಯಾವ ಸಿನಿಮಾ?
ಓಪನ್ ಹೈಮರ್. ಜುಲೈ 21ಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ.
ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ ಬನ್ನಿ.
So we tried the same in Telugu also. Even there people appreciated it because there also the way we dubbed the film was very colloquially. It had to be very colloquial. I mean, it has to be very rooted. We shouldn't dub the film just for the sake of it, like call 5-6 artists and get different voices from them. We made sure we did it very authentically. And speaking of humor per se, I think people are open to this kind of humor. There's dark comedy, sarcasm, and pop culture references. I think people wanted it, and we clearly saw the gap that people wanted it, and this fetched it. So I've always believed that a movie has to be marketed well. So I've seen a lot of good films which weren't marketed well, and people didn't even acknowledge that there is a film like that. And after it comes to OTT, okay, people watch it and then tell, okay, I should have watched it in theaters. We didn't want to do that. I mean, marketing is such an inevitable thing right now that if you don't market a film, people only might think that it's not a good film. So you have to market it and make sure that it reaches a wide set of audience, and only then will people really know that there is a film like this. And conventional marketing, how much ever it is necessary, you have to have something kick-ass also to make sure that people give their attention and they come to the theaters. I mean, pulling people to theaters, pulling the crowd is the biggest task ever. Since we didn't have any stars, I mean, there were star cameos, but leads as stars, we had to do all the marketing stuff very creatively so that people give us attention.
ಹುಡುಗಾಟ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಪುಡಿ ರೌಡಿಗಳ ಸಹವಾಸವನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರುವ ಕರ್ಣ ಈಗ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಬದಲಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಿ ಮುಹೂರ್ತದಲ್ಲಿ ಎದ್ದು ಯೋಗಾಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಳಿಕ ಬೆಚ್ಚನೆ ಕಾಫಿ ಹೀರುತ್ತಾ ಸೂರ್ಯೋದಯವನ್ನು ಆನಂದಿಸುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಪಕ್ಷಿ ವೀಕ್ಷಣೆ ಕೂಡ ಇವರ ಹೊಸ ಹವ್ಯಾಸವಾಗಿದೆ.
ಛೇ ಛೇ ಎಂಥ ಕಾಲ ಬಂತಪ್ಪ. ಇವಾಗಿನ ಕಾಲದ ಹುಡುಗರಿಗೆ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಹಂಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ. ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಕುಡಿತಾರೆ.
ಓಯ್ ಶೆಟ್ರೆ ಮಲೆ ಬರ್ಕ
ಲೋ ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ?
ನೀನೇ ಅಲ್ವೇನ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಎಣ್ಣೆ ತಗೊಂಬನ್ನಿ, ಹೊಸ ಬೈನಾಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಲೇಡೀಸ್ ಹಾಸ್ಟೆಲ್ ಒಳ್ಳೊಳ್ಳೆ ಹಕ್ಕಿ ನೋಡೋಣ ಅಂತ.
ಅವನಿಗೆ 4 ವರ್ಷ ಹಿಂದೆ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಆವತ್ತಿಂದ ಪಾಪ ಯಾವುದು ಹೊಸ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಹಳೆ ಕತೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಹೊರಡ್ರು ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ
ಎಂತ ಸಾವು ಮರ, ನಂಗೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೋಗಿ. ಅಯ್ಯಪ್ಪ
ಇನ್ಯಾಕೋ ಕುಂತ ಇದ್ಯಾ? ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದ ಕಾರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಇದ್ನಲ್ಲ ಮಚ್ಚ.
ನಿಮ್ದು ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಮುಗೀತಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಪೇನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ನಾ ಹೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. The whole idea of the cameo in the movie was because we are all newcomers and people might not recognize us, but when there is a star cameo and they coming into this universe, we wanted somebody bigger than stars. Like they should have this image that they're stars. Only then if they enter this hostel, it creates much bigger chaos. That is the whole idea of getting cameos. Cameos was not like we did it only because we had to get more attention from people, but to increase the chaos in the movie. And it was all planned. We Ramya ma'am's portion, we wanted a big heroine because in the entire movie, in the initial part, the guy says that a heroine comes and teaches us mathematics in class. So it's like that. It was all devised. So as of now, there are talks that the film should be remade in languages or dubbed in other languages. Because the dubbing of this movie is a very big, huge task, because we need around 500 voices. So it's very exhausting because we would only dub it the way that we like it, the way that we are convinced. So Telugu dubbing itself took us around 28 days. So that's how much effort it needs. There are talks about getting this film remade in Hindi, Hindi, Malayalam and Tamil. So I don't know. I think everything should fall in place in a while. I think here, like studios like Paramva and PRK Productions, I mean, they took a stand to even RSF, that is Rishabh Shetty Films. I mean, they're taking a stand that you have to encourage new filmmakers, and because there are a lot of voices to be heard, and these production houses are doing the same. They want to pick talents and people who might not get a chance elsewhere to tell their story, and giving them an opportunity, encouraging them, marketing the movie, and they're doing all of this because it's pure love for cinema. I think that is happening in every industry, and in Kannada also it was always happening, but because of the exposure that we are getting right now after a lot of pan-India films and all of that, I think it's a good development in a way where even a small budget film can be backed from a big production house and also be profitable. After lockdown, I think lines have been blurred, since if people have been exposed to a lot of content across the world. So I think the younger generation now watches a lot of K-dramas and listen to K-pop. So that is how content is penetrating into everybody's phone or TVs. So I think people got more exposed, and people started to appreciate content even if it is not in the regular conventional way. For example, Daredevil and Acharanko are brilliant films, and the way the success that they got, it puts confidence into every new filmmaker that you can go and do with a small team and do a different content, and it will still be appreciated. And as of now, we see there is Charlie, Kantara, there is Saptasagara, there is KGF. all of these movies, it became pan India, and I think Kannada film industry as of now is in a beautiful high, and I hope it will sustain.
I hope everybody in the room. And they sit. Pick her up.